my vibe, going 105, serving double lines, do or die. Driving in my Gucci slides, my drive is my vibe, going 105, serving double lines, do or die. Driving in my Gucci slides. Who am I? Losing mine, so I drive the wrong side. Sunglasses on, so the lights on is bright. Who am I? Losing mine, so I drive the wrong side. Sunglasses on, so the lights on is bright. My drive is my vibe, going 105, serving double lines, do or die. Driving in my Gucci slides. My drive is my vibe, going 105, serving double lines, do or die. Driving in my Gucci slides. Who am I? Losing mine, so I drive the wrong side. Sunglasses on, so the lights on is bright. Who am I? Losing mine, so I drive the wrong side. Sunglasses on, so the lights on is bright. Skin looks so nice, take a bite. Roll back your eyes, everything will be alright. Skin looks so nice, take a bite. Roll back your eyes, everything will be alright. The drive is my vibe, going 105, serving double lines, do or die. Driving in my Gucci slides. The drive is my vibe, going 105, serving double lines, do or die. Driving in my Gucci slides. Lost in that moment, I can't control it. It feels like my opponent's gonna beat me, so I try to beat my opponent. But in that moment, I'm in that moment, feeling so lost, I can't control it. I feel so desperate for attention, coming straight for the throne, better pay close attention. I'm the teacher that I forget to mention. Honey, you're about to learn your fucking lesson. Lost in that moment, I can't control it. It feels like my opponent's gonna beat me, so I try to beat my opponent. But in that moment, I'm in that moment, feeling so lost, I can't control it. I feel so desperate for attention, coming straight for the throne, better pay close attention. I'm the teacher that I forget to mention. Honey, you're about to learn your fucking lesson.
All right, this song is fitting.
Yeah, call me one more. Let's keep it coming. 1, 2, 3, 4. Smack like a kick drum, act like a victim. Back in the fiction, matching the rhythm. Mad at living, more than a feeling. Stay high, been friends with the feeling. The feeling is quite appealing. Mixing with cream with strawberry filling. I got bars, that's what I'm dealing. Or dealing with, cause at the end of the day, I'll already be laid, already made. Just like a cake, I'll be glazed. That's the one thing that ain't gonna change, yo. I'll already be laid, already made. Just like a cake, I'll be glazed. So one thing it ain't gonna change, yo. Smack like a kick drum, act like a victim. Back in the fiction, matching the rhythm. Mad at living, more than a feeling. Stay high, been friends with the ceiling. The feeling is quite appealing. Mix it with cream with strawberry filling. I got bars, that's what I'm dealing with. Cause at the end of the day, I'll already be laid, already baked. Just like a cake, I'll be glazed. That's the one thing it ain't gonna change.
All right. So I'm going to start off streaming by doing a whiskey review. I got my Norland glass, which is supposed to help, separate the ethanol and alcohol so you don't get those harsh alcohol notes of gasoline, that taste or that burn that comes immediately off the palate for it. So it's supposed to help dissipate it so you get the aeration, you get the nose notes, the palate notes, but it's not a tulip glass, so it's not like the little snifter tulip glasses that you have for like whiskeys or scotches, which I think is a great choice as well. There's nothing wrong with either. There's a science behind it. These are, I think hand blown glasses, or they're scientifically made, but they're double walled, so they're very thin. So be very careful if you get some of these. I think they have them on Amazon. You can get like regular, or I think they've got like a black fumed one, kind of fog looking. I like the regular because you can actually see the whiskey through it. So let's get into this. I got Glenmorangie or Glenmorangie, however you want to say it. It's a Scotch. It's from Highland Park. This is the Azuma Makoto. I hope that I'm pronouncing the name properly. 18-year Extremely Rare is what it's called. But it's like, got like 200 blooms of flowers or something. So, uh, let's go ahead and get into this. Whatever. We'll leave the cookies option open. I don't care enough to press yes or no to that. That seems like a fool's game. Um, so let's go into this. So, interesting note: we currently only ship to the UK. Um, so right now, this is their actual website. So this is why I wanted to pull this one up, because this is from them, not from a review of somebody else. Let's talk a little bit about this. I'm going to go ahead and um, I'm going to pour a bit. We're going to add this to. I have a thing of tasting notes. Let me go ahead and find this real fast. We'll go ahead and downsize that real fast. Let's look over on this side. See if we can find this shit. Whiskey don't get us, then women must. I'll never cease my wandering. All I gotta say is, if you know, you know. Bam, bam, bam. There we go. So, those are some long notes. But we don't need that part right now. That's my old Forester whiskey review that I did. So this is gonna be a new part of this. This is God damn, God damn it. Oh shit. Not even drinking and I'm about to get kicked out of the bar. All right, we'll move this down here. Start off by Azuma. All right. Did I say that? It did spell that right. All right, perfect. So, get into this. Got the bottle right here. Beautiful bottle, by the way. All the flowers on there. It says limited edition designed by Azuma Makoto. So just on the bottle, Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. Uh, so in Scotland and I think in Japan, they actually spell whiskey with no E. It's just with a Y. I know they definitely do in Japan. I didn't pay enough close attention to Scotch because I just call it Scotch. I don't call it whiskey. Just because the region it's from. It's like Champagne, France. It's kind of the same thing. But with this, let's see. Limited edition designed by Azuma Makoto. Dancing with Jasmine. Dude, I'm gonna butcher all these fucking flowers because I don't know how to pronounce flowers, but like geranium, narcissus. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that there was a flower called narcissus because that's narcissistic, is what I think of. But our Radiant Whiskey's fragrant bouquet inspires a unique collaboration with the acclaimed floral artist Azuma Makoto, a master of the universal language of flowers. Comparing our single malt to a flower in bloom, he celebrates an unfolding wondering in his masterpiece, Dances with Flowers of Glenmorangie, showcased in this limited edition design. Revealing our deliciousness he finds in our whiskey, Azuma Makoto explains, it begins with rich, rounded aromas of dried fruits and honey, then unfurls into a bouquet of geranium, tuberose, and jasmine. They dance on a tongue of honeysuckle. Can't speak. They dance on the tongue with honeysuckle and sweet pea figs and nuts until the blossoms fade into a sweet, lingering finish. Yeah. So they've even got like a QR code that you can scan when you get this bottle. Spoiler: I have already tried this, but I'm doing a review on this because I did like it. So we're gonna just open this up right away. It has a very nice feel with the magnets that they have, or they slide in with the actual latch as well, right on the side here. So you get that latch, undo it. There's a little bit of magnets that are inside the box that help keep it together. Uh, let's go ahead and read some of this stuff. So, uh, kind of all the same stuff. I mean, yep, just talks about the same notes. in different ways. All right, Wondrous Creation. This is a little different. For this unique collaboration, Azuma Makoto was inspired to reimagine our rare single malt's rich floral balance through the language of flowers, translating to the whiskey's delicious bourbon cask softness and sweet oloroso sherry cask hints. He drew on the beauty of almost 100 different blooms from across the world. Azuma Makoto coaxed each one of those blossoms in his Tokyo studio with perfect choreography to his airborne floral masterpiece, Dancing Flowers of Glenmorangie, which we share in this wondrous limited edition. So, inside of the bottle, as you can see, plenty of flowers, plenty of blooms. Let's go ahead and get this out of here. Yeah, it's definitely it's nice. Yeah, 43% alcohol by volume, 750 mil. So traditional size. Yeah, interesting fact as well. Uh, it's imported by Moet Hennessy, USA, and New York, New York. So, what you know about that yak? Let's pop into this bottle. Whew. I love Scotch. Scotch is different from whiskeys and bourbons in the way that it has more smoke and more peat. They're not afraid of those notes, so um, it definitely has a little more fire on there. Campfire, like charcoal feel, the peat moss, the smoke. That's also why I like Woodford Reserve because they have a influence of Scotch because um, God, it's Woodford Reserve, the oldest standing bourbon distillery in Kentucky. In 1833, took on a young Scottish scientist named Dr. James Crow. He's often referred to as the father of bourbon. Invented a lot of methods we still use to this day. Straight whiskey, the sour mash, those were some of his creations. I could be wrong, but I think that I read this somewhere. You can go ahead and fact check me. I might be wrong. But um, I like Scotch. That it got traces of smoke in there, even for a bourbon on this. So this one is, being Scotch, being Highland Park. It's not as peaty as like an Isla Scotch, or as some people might read it, Islay, which is, I believe, the wrong pronunciation. But I'm not Scottish, so um, do what you will with that. But let's go ahead and let's get into this. Bottle looks beautiful. Of course, their insignia right in the center underneath their label as well. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so we'll get into this. I get traces of smoke off the nose, not too much, which is I feel like very consistent with Highland Park. You get a little bit of smoke, not too much peat on there, um, but not as like simple. I would say, or not complex, um, in the way of like a space side, where it's just being that they're sherry casks, you have more raisiny notes on these, or like sweeter, richer fruits that you get with them. Nice. It's very delicate. There's definitely more. I do get more fruity, floral blooms and tastes and stuff. It's kind of like in that way, not like uh perfume, but floral in that way of like a bouquet in the mouth, poopery, if you will, potpourri, whatever you want to call it. Do what you will with that. So let's kind of let on the nose. Go ahead and write these down. Traces of smoke. Um, Floral note, very delicate. Sweet, overripe fruits. Raisin. There's a slight spice, but not much. Light spice. Very little though. Floral peppery, like arugula, if you will. Like that you get peppery notes with arugula. That's kind of what I'm getting. Like that kind of a spice, something like a cardamom or some shit like that. Allspice. I don't know. I mean, it tastes good. So slight spice, sweet overripe fruit. Whoa, fuck. Ripe fruit. How do you spell ripe? Overripe fruit. All right. So let's go back. Nose, traces of smoke, floral notes, very delicate. Sweet, overripe fruits, raisin, light spice. I don't know how to spell arugula. Law. Like arugula. How do you? I don't know how to spell cardamom. Cardamom. We're gonna go with that as a Southern boy. All right, palate. Sweet, rich, not not complicated, but balanced. Like a how do you spell bouquet? Oh, that I'm lucky that there is like a bouquet. State Farm is there. Like a bouquet of flower, hand picked, each complimented, yet unique. Sea salt caramel, ripe figs, cherry. Like I'm thinking some overripe cherry in a cherry pie, like rich, sweet, but not dry. not bright, not like underripe. These are overripe cherries. Um, I mean, that's kind of the flavors I'm tasting off of it. I mean, I'm sure I could get here and taste some more. But let's go ahead and look at everything else. The finish. Light lasting. Like it's still there, but it's not so overpowered that all I taste is just that. I like it. It's got a good balance to it. It's a nice, good sipper. Um, let's see. Sweet and heat. Um, I mean, with this powering, yeah, doesn't let you forget about your garden. I mean that in a way of like, this is very fresh, floral. It's nice. It's a different break from some whiskeys. I like unique notes. Not everything has to follow the same structure or timeline, but it's very classic Highland. I feel like every time I've had a Highland Park, it's they're similar yet different in different ways. But I do like this. Um, I'm gonna give it a solid 8.7. I think that it's a good whiskey. It's a good scotch. It's nice. It's balanced. It's delicate. Um, there's a lot of um, work that went into it. Um, I do enjoy it. It's not my favorite area. I like something more bold, but that's why it said my rating. You know, tasting notes are all subjective. Everyone can feel differently. It's a good one. If you like something like a Highland Park or like anything from that region, you'll probably like this. This is definitely it's a nice craftsmanship. I like that it's unique. I just like a little bit more punch because I'm more of that high alcohol percentage or like smoky scotch. I like intense flavors. So that's why for me, light lasting, it wasn't enough of a finish. That's what really took away from it. But balance wise, if it had more of a finish to it, for me, I feel like I would like it more, and I feel like I would put like a 9.2 for it if it was a like more of a potent finish. So I mean, that's me personally. It's definitely it's a good, nice, solid scotch. I'm not faulting it at any point. Um, I prefer Highland Park over Speyside. So people that like Macallan, Glenfiddich, Glenlivet, or yeah, all those are all gonna be Speyside. Um, and I mean they sell a shit ton of fucking scotch, but it's just not my cup of tea for that one in particular. So let's go ahead and let's get into some of these notes as I sip on this more. Maybe my rating might change, but a delicious collaboration. So captivated by the scents he found in an 18-year-old's bouquet, in our 18-year-old's bouquet. The floral artist likened our single malt to the wonder of flower in bloom. He explains. So I already read all that stuff on the bottle. All right, cool. How to enjoy the perfect serve. Enjoy neat with a little water or 2 to 3 large rocks of ice. With any alcohol, if you're looking for notes, if you're enjoying the spirit, you don't want to dilute it too much, but enjoy it how you will. If you dilute it too much, you can sometimes do, especially if you're shaking it, chilling it, or anything like that, you can sometimes bruise the notes, or they don't become as easily registered to the palate because they're too cold. So that's why I leave all my shit room temperature, neat, no rocks, no ice or anything. I've tried certain things with water, but just not my cup of tea. But however you enjoy it is however you want to drink it. It's your bottle, it's your whiskey, it's your scotch, it's your spirit, whatever you're doing. So let's see. Service temperature, room temperature. That's what I recommend. Ready when to drink, when you're ready to drink. That seems like an alcoholic wrote this. But this is the actual website for a distillery. So I completely agree. I concur. Storage advice. Store upright in a cool, dark, dry place. Closure, cap with the cork. Let's see. Blend and origin. Conceived by the overflowing imagination of its creators, Glenmorangie, 18 years old, is one of our most appreciated single malts of the Scottish House. Its dazzling and luminous tastes are first the result of an elaboration of this delicate and spicy, fruity spirit, instills the height of a giraffe, which leaves more for taste and aromas. Oh, they do it in stills. The height of giraffe. I don't know why that didn't register in my brain. It was like a run-on sentence to my head, which is not how that was even written out. So instills the heights of giraffe, which leaves more room for taste and aromas. That's also interesting to know. That's cool. The spirit is then carefully aged in bourbon barrels for 15 years. Bart is transferred to Oloroso sherry cask for another 3 years. The nectar creates a sweet floral uh, luxuriance of Glenmorangie, 18-year-old. See, I mean, for me, it's good. It's just I I think the floral notes don't hit on my palate the same. Maybe it's because I like more of like those spicy, rich, smoky flavors and stuff like that. I like it. Like I said, I'm not faulting it. It's just not what my palate craves, I should say. But it is a good scotch. That's an interesting fact. So when you have it, more room in the stills, um, that you get more of those aromas and room for taste. Let's see. The tasting notes color deep gold. I would definitely say that is gold. Yes. Nose rich, rounded, and sweet with dried fruit, complex floral notes such as geranium, jasmine, and narcissus. Taste a silky balance of honey, malt, toasted flowers, including tuberose, sweet pea, honeysuckle, rich figs, dates, an emergence of hints of wood, smoke in the background. Yeah, finish long and enticing with the sweetness of dried fruits and subtle dryness of oloroso nuttiness. I get a little bit of a dry nuttiness, but I wouldn't say it's. I mean, it's lingering, but for me, it wasn't long. It wasn't like it didn't hit me in that palate region that I wanted. But I like it. It's not bad. It's just like I would prefer like a Lagavulin, a Lafroig, a Talisker, an Ardbeg, um, as some that I would enjoy over this one. If I was gonna go in a different region as well, than Isla, I would definitely do like I love Dalmor. Dalmor's fucking good. Even Jura. Jura's nice, but those are a little bit more on the sweet side, not as much of a palate punch. But yeah, all right. And if this is a Zuma Makoto, that drip right there, fucking phenomenal. Just in the fucking garden drinking scotch. He's a man's man, you know. That's awesome. I like that they actually have all the notes on here on their website. They talk about it for that. I like it. Yeah. Yep. That's the bottle. That's the box. That's the shebang. Oh yeah. I get what they're saying. Honey. It's not caramel. It's honey. I get it. So let's go ahead and let's change that note on there. Not caramel, honey. Mhm. Sweet, rich, balanced. Sea salt caramel slash honey and sea salt. We'll put that in the slash because I wrote that first, but upon reading, I do get more of a honey note, not caramel. Not like a burnt sugar. It's more like a sweet, natural. Yeah, not bad at all. I'm not, like I said, not faulting that in any way. I like it. I'm definitely gonna finish this glass. I'm gonna start playing some games in a bit, but interesting. I like that. It was nice to get into a different spirit other than just a whiskey or a bourbon or a rye. But they do have different ones. I have not had the 12, 15, or any of these years for it. Um, Cognac cask finish. I mean, that must be different. They got so many different ones. They're very brave and bold to do certain finishes and stuff like that with their whiskeys and scotches. Or what I should say with their scotch. It's I like it. It's nice. And the alcohol percentages all vary as well. It's not just a solid 46. You got even 43, 47.3, 46. Um, this one I believe is 43, right? 43, yep. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, it was as much educational as it was fun to drink. Um, Getting down to the bottom of certain spirits is nice. If you have anything else you ever want me to try, taste, or anything like that, you can always let me know. I got my socials linked to my Twitch. I've got Facebook under same uh gamer tag. I'm about to hop on some Smite, so if anybody wants to watch that after, awesome. If not, enjoy your day, and I hope that this impacted you in a positive way, not a negative way. And if it did, go fuck yourself. Have a wonderful evening.